Very durable seating back here for kids, and this weave is actually so tight that it would liquid would bead up on this. Hey, I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, and I'm standing with this beauty right here behind me, the 2020 Mazda CX-5 Sport. Before we take a deep dive and a look at that vehicle, go ahead and click this JSS down here at the bottom, subscribe to my channel, and ding that bell so that you're updated first with all new information on Mazda. Let's go. The 2020 Mazda CX-5 Sport. It's just a beautiful vehicle. See if I can get my shadow out to show you some of this soul red crystal. Now the Sport has seen so many changes in the last couple of years. When we start up front, we're talking about lights, we're talking about safety, and both of those have changed in the last few years as far as standard equipment. So you now have standard LEDs from 2019 forward. So this 2020 model has standard LEDs. Also, the eye active sense with your radar here, your camera up top in the windshield, there, right there, and all the other systems that are used by those two, the smart city brake, the adaptive cruise control, the lane departure warning, the lane departure alert, the automatic emergency braking. All of those things are standard now. Of course, you have the same engine across the line, at least in the Sport, Touring, and Grand Touring, with the 187 horsepower 2.5 liter Skyactiv engine, which is underneath the hood there. Mated with a 6-speed transmission with Sport mode. Helps get great fuel economy, real world fuel economy for me on mostly highway driving is right up between 28.8 and 29.7. So that's real world, which happens to match the combined of 28 on that. As we go around, the 17-inch alloy wheels are standard. Now, even now on some of your competitors like the new body style RAV4, they still have wheel covers. But Mazda, in efforts to scale up to more premium features, are standard with alloy wheels. Also on the 2020 now, we have this LED strip turn signal right here, and it's hard to see, but you have blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic. Again, this is the entry level standard every CX-5. As we open up inside, you have a leather wrapped steering wheel, also have your commander control, electronic parking brake with auto brake hold, a 7-inch screen for your Mazda Connect system. Also, you have this LCD panel right here. As you see the doors open, that's also where your lane departure and those features would be seen. On this leather wrapped steering wheel, you have all your steering wheel mounted audio controls and safety features right there. A very firm yet cushy cloth seating, and this insert here is a durable weave. I know it's kind of hard to see that on the video, but very nice. You also have 6 standard airbags on the CX-5. So of course you've got one here, one up front there, side bolsters on both sides, and then your curtains to protect in side impact or rollover. Shark fin antenna up top there that you can see is standard, and that's color keyed for whatever the color is. A couple of things to point out. When we look in this locking fuel door here, some of you may be asking why you have 2 slots here. This, of course, is for the diesel exhaust fluid, because the CX-5 signature does come in diesel. So this is where your gas cap would be accessed here, and just slides in right there. So really convenient. Opening up to the back here, right underneath the Mazda logo, very convenient. Opens up to this lift gate. You have a 40-20-40 split, and of course these would fold down here. You can pull that little lever there, whether you're up front or back here, and then these latches on the side here for those 2 outboard seats. And you have 3-point harnesses with lower anchors and tethers for children. So latch system and a firm door there. So your latch is right here, and lower anchors, and then you saw the tethers, top tethers in the back. And so again, this is your standard back seat. Sorry for the sun flare there. Your standard back seat in the CX-5. Again, very durable seating back here for kids, and this weave is actually so tight that it would liquid would bead up on this. So that's a concern a lot with children. But this is designed to bead up, so it gives you an opportunity to wipe it dry before it soaks in. I know I've covered a little bit of the inside already. I'm going to jump inside for just a few moments in the front seat and the back seat, and then we'll wrap it up on this beautiful Soul Red Crystal 2020 Mazda CX-5 Sport. All right, so I moved a little bit just because of the sun. I didn't want to distract too much from this interior here. I did also want to point out 2020 standard, they went to the new key design. So your extra key is inside this panel, and everything's right here on the side for you. So your panic, your unlock and lock right there fits very nicely into your pocket. And this, as you noticed on the outside there, let me turn this down. I cranked it up because it is a little warm today. So 86 degrees right now, according to the information here. And this is standard with remote keyless entry, but not the advanced keyless entry. So you do still have to unlock it with the fob there. One thing to notice here, you also have a manual leveling headlight. So this, again, some premium features here that aren't seen on vehicles of this class, but everything touring and above is auto leveling. So you have your manual leveling here. And here's for traction control off and your lane departure there. Can also go into the settings and do some of that also. Again, soft materials all the way around, very smooth, very elegant, including this console. Your manual HVAC here on the Sport is standard. You also have a rear occupant classification system, so it will notify you if someone opens the rear door, gets in, and does not lock their latch their seatbelt, or unlatches as they're going down the road, and that'll be notated by red or green. Green for latched, red for not. Also wanted to hop in the back seat here and show you a little bit of room. Before I do that, if I can, I'm just going to spin around here and show you the visibility. So if I'm looking over my shoulder, one of the reasons they made the blind spot monitor standard is just to give you a little extra peace of mind when you're looking over your shoulder. Of course, also looking in the rear view there, you've got a pretty wide view, or looking over this shoulder, pretty good view, but blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic is always nice. And when you're in the rear view camera mode, it does give you the warning there to check surroundings for safety, but it will also, hazards will pop up here for the blind spot, and it will emit an audible beep as well. And of course, right now there's just hardly any traffic coming by to pick that up. Usually the sensors are pretty strong or far reaching with that. So let me hop in the back seat and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so in the back seat, you do have theater seating, so you can be positioned with good visibility out of here. So if you're like me and always want to see what's coming ahead. Also, I did push this seat up just a little bit more of an average setting. I usually have my seat pretty far back, but you can see with the average setting, a lot of room right here for my knees, also for my feet, and I can even slide them underneath if I need to stretch out. This passenger seat is a little bit farther back and a little bit tilted more, and just where my knees are positioned now, I'd probably be right on the inside of that touching, but it does have a little bit of give for room. And definitely would consider, if it was me with adults riding back here, the optional arm or the standard armrest on the Touring that folds down, of course, with USB ports and also rear air. But if I crank that air up there, it would, of course, be able to blow back here and cool me off. A couple of features to talk about with these seats back here. They do have a 2 position, so you can see how this one right here is actually sitting up a little more than the other one. And so you have just your standard seating there. See how it's flush? And then the farther setting there is not really a smooth recline, but it is something you can get with a different angle. So you can get a little more comfortable there. Also, if you really need a break between passengers or an armrest, you can just pull that loop that I showed before and have this fold down, and it could be used as an armrest or even something on a long trip, to play cards or to draw or whatever the case might be. So you do have this functionality. I know when I was coming up, me and my older brother would fold down things like this and use it almost like a desktop or a tabletop. So a lot of versatility back here, a lot of good things. And I've also been in some situations where we, let's lock that in here, where we had to ride with something coming up here, to pack it up when we were going on a long trip or what have you. So a lot of versatility for passengers and cargo back here. Also, of course, you have your lights up here, and then your gray headliner is seen on every vehicle. So any questions, as always, drop them in the comments below, or call or text me at 334-718-0504. I'm Jonathan Sewell Sales at Mitchell Mazda on the Boulevard in Enterprise, and we're still here for you, serving you any way we can, and I really can't wait to see you in your own Mazda.